In cybersecurity, the tiniest little slip up can have absolutely massive consequences. And today we're going to break down one simple mistake, so simple that could leak your entire investigation to the very people you're looking into before you even hit the send button. Let's see how this actually happens in real time.
Now, everything we're about to cover comes straight from the fantastic data extraction and manipulation tutorial in the CHF series. It is packed with these kinds of practical, real-world security tips that can literally save an investigation, and we're excited to break it all down for you.
All right, so let me set the scene for you. Imagine you're a security analyst, right? You find a malicious domain, and you do the right thing. You go to warn your team in your private end-to-end encrypted chat app. You paste the link, but hold on, you haven't sent the message yet. You're totally safe, right? Well, let's see what the attacker is seeing.
Okay, so on the left, that's the attacker screen. They're sitting on their malicious server, just watching to see who connects to their website. And on the right, we have our analyst, who's just flagged that domain, cybershish.cc, as hostile. The attacker's log, it's completely quiet. For now.
And look at the command the attacker is using. It's just a simple tail on their access logs. This is a super basic command that gives them a live, real-time feed of every single connection hitting their server. Nothing gets by.
So our analyst, being a good teammate, opens up their secure chat app, think Signal, WhatsApp, you name it, to share this malicious domain with their incident response team. In their mind, this conversation is completely private.
And there it is. The instant our analyst pastes that link into the chat box, they haven't sent it, they just pasted it. A brand new line pops up in the attacker's log. That link preview feature in the app automatically reached out to the domain to grab an image, and in doing so, it just blew their cover completely. And here's the real kicker. It's not just that the attacker saw an IP address hit their server. Look closer at that log. The user agent string right there explicitly says WhatsApp. So the attacker now knows their domain isn't just being randomly browsed. It is actively being discussed on a chat platform. The whole investigation is compromised.
So, how on earth do you prevent this from happening? The answer is actually a really simple but incredibly powerful technique called defanging. This needs to be your first and most important line of defense.
So what is defanging? Well, it's just the process of changing a URL or an IP address just enough so that applications, like your chat program, don't see it as a clickable hyperlink anymore. It's a tiny change that makes a world of difference.
Let's look at a perfect example here. On the left, you've got that dangerous, fanged URL. It's live, it's clickable, but on the right, you've got the defanged version. See how HTTP becomes HXXP and the periods and slashes are put inside brackets? To a person, you can still read it perfectly fine, but to a computer, it's just a string of text. No preview, no accidental click, and most importantly, no leak.
So why do we do this? Well, it comes down to two mission-critical reasons. First, it stops you or your team from accidentally clicking on a live malicious link and getting compromised. And second, as we just saw, it protects your operational security, your OPSEC, by preventing your own tools from betraying you.
Okay, so we've covered defense. Now let's flip the script and talk about offense. We're going to get into how you can extract actionable intelligence by quickly digging through huge piles of data to find those needles in the haystack.
So picture this. It's a pretty common scenario. You stumble upon a massive data dump on a site like Pastebin. It's just a giant wall of text, thousands upon thousands of leaked email and password pairs. Your job? Figure out if any of your organization's accounts are in that mess.
Trying to sift through that by hand would take forever, and you'd probably miss something. Instead, we can use a really simple and powerful workflow. We'll just copy all that raw data, use a tool to pull out only the email addresses, filter for the specific company domain we care about, and boom, we've got clean, actionable results. It's all about working smarter, not harder.
So the first move here is the extract email addresses operation. You literally just drop that entire messy block of text in, and this function acts like a perfect sieve, catching only the lines that are actually formatted like email addresses and letting all the other junk fall away.
Okay, so now we have a nice clean list of emails. The next step is to find the ones that actually matter to us. And for that, we use the filter command. This lets you search through all of those results for a specific pattern, like your company's domain name, so you can zero right in on what's important. Now, the real magic behind the filter command comes from something called regular expressions. This is just a standard way to define search patterns. And look, you don't have to be a regex wizard, but just knowing you can use them to find something like @yourcompany.com is an absolutely fundamental skill for data analysis. All right, time to level up.
Using single commands is great, don't get me wrong, but the real power, the real efficiency, comes from chaining these operations together to build much smarter and way more accurate workflows.
But here's a common trap people fall into. If you take that big, messy pile of data and just run extract domains on it, you're going to get a lot of junk back. The algorithm is pretty simple. It sees anything that looks like text.txt and thinks, hey, that must be a domain, which leads to tons of false positives, like document.exe. That's not a domain.
So here's the pro move. Instead of one sloppy step, we chain a few smart ones together. First, we run extract URLs on the raw data. This gives us a really high-quality list of actual web links. Then we run extract domains on that already cleaned up list. The results are just dramatically better. We can even finish it off with a unique command to get rid of any duplicates, and what we're left with is a perfect, clean list.
And that's really the core idea here. By just thinking a little bit about the order of our operations, by chaining them together logically, we can pretty much eliminate these kinds of errors and false positives. And that saves us a massive amount of time and headache down the line.
So, let's just quickly recap the big takeaways here. 1. Always, and I mean always, defang URLs before you share them. It protects you and your OPSEC. 2. Use extraction tools. They are your best friend for quickly pulling key indicators out of huge, messy data sets. And finally, 3. Build smarter workflows. Chaining commands like extract URLs before extract domains will give you much, much cleaner results.
Hey, if you found this breakdown useful, hitting that like button and subscribing to the channel really is the best way to let us know. It genuinely helps us keep making more of these explainers, breaking down complex topics into clear, actionable insights for you. Thanks for watching.